welcome on in. Now, Palworld 1.0 is finally here, and whether you're jumping in completely fresh or returning after months away from betas or alphas of past, here's 10-ish essential things that's going to help you on your way. So let's start with combat. Now, one of the best things to keep an eye on during your play is what type enemies are. So if you get stuck on a boss or a tower or just a random enemy roaming around, keep an eye on the type that it is. So if, for example, you're fighting an ice pal, you're best off trying to use as many fire pals as you can, and you can see what is weak or strong against what types. If you open your menu here and then you go to your party and then you hover over the type here, it'll show you what's good against what's not good against what here. The majority of the time, the type that you're fighting with matters more than the actual level. Having something that's actually good and strong against that type is often going to help you win. And just keep in mind as well, some have passive abilities that allow for your attack to get changed to their type. So some of these fire pals will change your attack type to fire. So when you're fighting against ice types, it also helps with the damage tick. And also early on, try and get used to using your dash dodge, which is, I believe, default onto left control, especially as you start getting to like tower enemies and some of the bigger enemies. They've got big AoE damage and big kind of body slams into the ground, etc., that show you a red circle area where they're going to hit. You can use these quick dodges and rolls to get out of the way of them, so it keeps you alive a bit longer and into the fight. Now, while you're also in combat, barring the towers, because obviously you can't capture them in the towers, but when you're out and about and you're fighting a pal that's maybe a bit too powerful, you're starting to struggle a little bit. If you've got any pal spheres spare, just throw them at it. It might be a low percentage and it might not even capture it anyway, but it gives you a few moments to quickly reset, reload, etc. While aiming down with your weapon, you can actually click the middle mouse and it'll target attack for the pal. So that pal, regardless whether it's set to passive or not, will specifically attack that target. Now for exploring, so while you're looking at the map, you can ping any area by hitting E on the where you're selected, and it'll give you an option of custom pings, which is just for you and only you can see them. And you've also got guild pings on the right hand side here. Now these, if you're playing in multiplayer, can show for everyone. Now just keep in mind as well though that there's only a limit of 50 guild pings, so just use it for the main stuff that you're after. Now when you are out and exploring, there are different biomes, and some of these biomes, like the desert areas, are exceptionally hot, or there is some kind of wintry ice biomes that are exceptionally cold. It is handy to have a fire pal or an ice pal available when you're exploring these areas, because it does help reduce that level of heat that you're taking. And if you get to the kind of top end of the heat or the ice levels, it'll actually start tick damage on you. Just keep in mind that you have to actually have that particular pal, either fire or ice, out with you as you explore. And with talking about that, there is also party pal presets. So if you go into your pal box and you look at your party on the left, at the bottom here you can see party pal presets, and when you click on those you can actually set that party you've got as a certain preset. So it's quite handy when you start getting certain pals for like mining, for maybe exploring, like having your fire types in there, whatever. You can actually set a bunch of presets. I think you get around 5 or 6 presets to use, and all you have to do is go into your pal box, click that preset one, and when you hover over it, it'll show you the option to use it, or you can overwrite, obviously, when you want to update these. Now, something you get relatively early on is the Mercy Ring in your tech tree. It is on the ancient technology side, the purple side, and it is very handy for when you're trying to capture pals, because while wearing this, you cannot kill that enemy, so you'll only ever bring it down to 1 HP. It also works while you're mounted on a pal. That pal also won't be able to kill that enemy. Only catch here is that any dot damage, i.e. fire dot damage, will still tick and kill the enemy. Now for a couple of base tips. Some good early pals is the Cativa. You get very early on, it helps with the max weight capacity. Lift Monk is really good early base pal for food production, just because they've got so many different benefits for the base. When you want to get out there and mining, looking for the Turticles, there's a Terra and a normal one. They're both really good for 80% reduction on the weight of like ores and sulfur and coal, etc. The Mammoth, while the one at the starting area is really high level, a little bit further north, you get ones that are in around the 20 kind of level. The Mammoth is a really good tank, as well as helping with mining and wood support. There's also a Lunaris that gives you a plus 300 weight carry too. The Lunaris is also actually quite a good attacking pal, so it's one that's quite handy to have out there while you're exploring. Now when you have got some storage chests, you can actually click into the chest settings. So when you're either selecting the chest itself, or I believe there's an option of V or C when you're hovering over the chest to go straight to the settings, you can actually check and uncheck certain things. So you can have certain chests for like food, for ingredients, for PAL materials, wood, ores, whatever. Another thing as well is the PALs will prio the nearest storage container. So if you have 3 storage containers for your wood, whichever one's closest to where they're farming the wood, they will actually put it in that one first. So something to keep in mind while you are building your base. Now there's different building materials, there's different ones that you can unlock further down the line. And instead of having to entirely rebuild your base, you can, while you're in build mode, select the next type you want. So for example, you've got a wooden base, you want to upgrade it to stone, you click onto the stone pieces and you can hit 4 and it will replace that piece with the new one. Now just to keep in mind, you have to select the same type. So if you're looking at a wooden foundation, you have to select the stone foundation and then hit 4 to replace all those. And that's it guys, just some beginner tips. And if you've got any other hints or tips or things you found really useful to find out, please do leave a comments below, and it's going to help everyone else when they find a video to see the extra hints and tips below. Thanks for checking the video out, and if you liked the video, if you can click the like button or leave a comment or subscribe, it does help me out massively. Thank you very much.